Anybody have anything interesting happen today?
I went for a 2-mile walk in the woods.
No.
Gotta
Did you
hide the
find-
bodies, right?
Come
Did
on.
you find any shrub sluts?
No.
Any what?
No.
Shrub sluts.
I listened to Joe
Trump
Rogan
slut?
and I walked for
Oh.
2 miles.
I chased an old lady on the interstate after she flicked me off, so I scared her for about 20 miles.
It's
At least
intelligent.
your priorities are straight.
Then I pulled up alongside of her, and she kept flicking me off, and I was smiling and waving and taking pictures of her and tweeting them out. And she had like 14 Trump stickers on her car, and I really just wanted to keep chasing her, but I had places to be.
Probably thought you were a Muslim terrorist.
Clearly, the skin tone definitely indicates.
Given the signal.
Turkey.
Nothing interesting. Nothing interesting happened today. However, last night, I would like to give a little plug and a little shout out. Mark Davis and Seth Ford of Strip Club Moms fame have a new podcast out there called Lyrics to Go. You can find it on Spotify. Got 3 episodes out, and it is fucking fantastic. So that's how I spent my night last night. Was I had a few beers and I listened to the first 3 episodes they have out of that podcast. It's really good. If you're into music and misheard or misunderstood lyrics, it's a really interesting podcast.
I haven't seen that podcast, but I've seen shows that delve into that subject, and I've always found those really interesting. Sorry for derailing.
No, you're good. It's really good. Check it out. It's called Lyrics to Go. They break down with Dre Day, and everyone's celebrating off of the Chronic. And nothing against Mark or Seth, but they're like 2 of the whitest dudes that you'll ever meet. And listen to them here dissect those lyrics to me was fucking hilarious. But really smart guys. Both of them definitely know their shit about music, and it was very, very entertaining. So I would advise you guys to check that out.
The DM Mark now and tell him that I want him to do an episode about that Nickelback song where the whole lyric is, I'll sign a couple autographs and get my meals for free, and then that quiet part where he goes, I'll have a quesadilla. It's one of the greatest lyrics ever written, man.
Oh boy. You know, I actually saw Nickelback live when I was 16 years old. I was working. This is when I met Bob. I was 16 years old. I was working at Specs Music, and they played Orbit, Neptunes, whatever the fuck name it was under at the time. But my man,
It would have been Neptunes back then.
Yeah, it would have been
started
Neptunes.
as Pyramid.
Yeah. But yeah, Manager gave me 2 free tickets, so I don't know who went with me, but we went, saw Nickelback before they were huge, and got to meet
And
them.
hated.
We had like they're actually really nice guys. I'm not a fan of their music, but obviously there's
like
people
that.
out there that dig them.
I heard that
Have you ever met a Nickelback fan? Have you ever met
a true fan? No, but I know there are definitely people who have bought their albums because they sold a lot of them.
And they also sell
99X.
out big concert arenas. So I mean,
Not
to be out
anymore.
there. Oh, I see what you did there.
I remember listening to him on the
What are you
middle school
watching?
bus on the way to and from school. With arms wide open.
That's Creed,
It's all the same.
not Nickelback.
No, they're decidedly different. They're both hated, but they're different. That's like saying
And
Charles
Pearl Jam-
Manson and Pogo the Clown are the same fucking thing.
And Pearl Jam is responsible for all of that. Yup.
Yeah, they all just wanted to rip off Eddie Vedder's voice. It is what it is.
Oh, they're
And
the
if
ones
there
who
was
did.
no Pixies, there'd be no Nirvana.
They're the ones who did Photograph, right?
Absolutely.
Look at this photograph. When I look at it, it makes me
Correct.
laugh. Okay, yeah.
Is he sitting there singing Nickelback?
The clothes and some program.
Okay,
All right, subjects. Anybody bring anything to the table?
one hit wonder you hate the most, since we're already talking about Nickelback.
I got to think about it for a little bit because
One
I've
hit
got a lot.
wonder,
Working at
think about it.
99X, I've got a lot of them. One hit
Right.
wonder.
Not necessarily the song, but even the band.
Yeah, I know, and I'm trying to think. Like I worked at 99X at a time where there was a lot of bands that had multiple one-hit. I mean, you could think of Lit. Lit's got like 3 or 4 like songs, and then they
Ah, Mitch,
disappeared.
fucking kill yourself. Sorry.
What the fuck just happened?
His quarterback probably threw an interception.
Oh, bingo. Bingo. Yeah, dance it off, you fucking pigs.
Let's just listen to like do an hour podcast of John screaming at his TV when shit's not going the way it should for him.
Who were you throwing to? Why did you throw it to him? Oh, there's 3 other guys down there. One of my guys, I'm gonna throw it right there because my name is Bitch Trubisky.
To answer your question, Bob, I'll go ahead.
So
and
my
say
team made the playoffs.
I'll go ahead and say Rebecca Black's in the song Friday.
Friday, gotta
Yeah.
get down.
And the fact
Pretty
that
horrible,
she made it,
yeah, it's
yeah, the
pretty
fact
horrible.
that
Pretty
the fact
horrible.
that she made it famous off one song that everybody universally thought was terrible, but everybody downloaded it, so we had to listen to it for like 6 months straight.
Chocolate
I don't
Rain.
know.
Got you beat. I got you beat. I whipped my hair back and forth by the Smith daughter.
fucking
Willow.
Willow.
Willow, yeah, Willow Smith.
Hardest fucking song.
I don't know, man.
But she's had more hits than have come
That's
out.
kind of how I
Struggle
feel
and
about
try
every
so much in my
Smash Mouth
life.
song.
I agree with you, John, that it's a terrible song, but she
That's
had
how I
other
feel about
hits.
Smash Mouth.
But they're not a one-hit wonder.
Had other hits.
Are we talking one-hit wonders? Putting aside the fact
Well,
that I love Smash
what's
Mouth.
Smash Mouth's biggest song?
All-Star.
Do you love Smash Mouth?
I like
Smash Mouth
I like
has, like,
Smash Mouth. Yeah, they have a ton of hit songs.
Smash
I
Mouth,
do. Their biggest hit's All-Star, without a doubt.
Smash Mouth, look at him for fuck's sake.
Before that, there was Walking on the Sun, which was a huge
Yep.
hit before that.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
That album's great.
So don't
That album
delay.
with Walking on
Act
the
now.
Sun on
So
it, great.
flies are running out.
How's it
Get into it.
How I feel about Bare Naked Ladies or I could give you a one-hit wonder band. Harvey Danger, Flagpole Sitta.
Yeah.
They're awesome, bro. That song.
I love Harvey Danger.
I mean,
agree.
But I was saying one-hit wonder songs that you hate, or one-hit wonders that you hate was Bob's
It's
suggestion.
easier to find ones that you like, though. There's so
Oh, absolutely.
Agreed. I totally agree with that
Absolutely.
I mean,
statement.
because technically the Breeders were a
Verve Pipe,
one-hit wonder.
Right?
That's such a good song, though.
Cannonball.
Cannonball is such a dope song.
Okay, that's great.
Damn near every song from the 90s that was on a Beavis and Butthead episode, whether they were making fun of it or in favor of it, was a good fucking song generally.
I'll give you one. I can't think of the name of the band, but I know the name of the song. That Bittersweet Symphony song. I fucking hate that
Verve.
song.
Verve.
I
love
fucking
that
hate
song.
that song.
I love that song, and I love Cruel Intentions.
Well, let's flip the script
Yeah.
on it. What's your favorite
Just-
one-hit wonder?
Everclear, one hit wonder. The song, one hit wonder.
No,
that's not
Doug,
my
I don't.
favorite.
I don't
That's
think
not
you
my
understand
favorite.
the
I like a
rules
lot
of
of
these
Everclear songs.
questions.
I'm not playing the same game you guys are playing. Okay.
Favorite one-hit wonder, like truly a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Ruckus. No, they've got a couple hits.
I got one. Fine Young Cannibal. She drives me crazy.
Anything by those guys I fucking hate. I can't stand Fine Young Cannibals. Same with the Smiths.
I like their
Fuck
one hit.
them.
Don't like the Smiths. Tub Thumping.
Chumbawamba. That was a great song.
Fuck you.
Sure
Oh
it
my
was,
god,
Paul.
you are now I know the differences that you between you and me, man. I'm starting
Yeah.
to see like
Yes,
the,
no.
the
I'm 5
dark
years
shit.
younger.
That, sir, is not a great
But
song.
they-
So you
Hey,
also
lady,
like
is it
that
big?
I
You
Would
wanna
Walk
come to
500
see
Miles
a
song,
puppy?
right?
The
In the band
Pretenders?
with Bane.
Do I like the Pretenders? 500 miles or 1,000
John
miles?
and I used to
I feel
Yeah.
like I'm in high
The
fidelity and
Pretenders.
I'm in a record store just buying a record from you three jackasses right now.
Flamers.
Now you're cutting out. When you get amped
I
up
get
and
loud?
loud, you're cutting out.
Okay, so all right, Paul. Right now, you are in high fidelity, and all three of us are Jack Black's character.
Negative. Jack
What
Black.
album are you coming in to
no,
buy
no,
that we
no.
can shit on you?
I've actually thought about this.
Jack
John
Black
would
plays
be
the same
John
person
would
in
be
every
Jack
movie,
Black.
Bob, don't you know?
John would be Jack Black. Doug would be John Cusack, and then you're the other guy.
The bald guy?
Yeah, you're the other guy
I'm the other guy.
with the cleft
I'm
lip.
the one who ends up with
With the cleft lip.
Roseanne's daughter.
Sure, yeah, that one.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one
you
who.
end up with Patrick Mahomes.
I thought his official title was the other guy.
Nah. So how?
What was your question you were going to
So-
ask me? I'm in High Fidelity's record store and what?
You come in, you buy a record.
Okay.
Tell us what record you're embarrassed to buy that we're all going to give you shit about.
Oh,
The guy
like,
who likes Chumbawamba, you think he's going to be
I'll
embarrassed?
tell
Come on, dude.
I'll tell you the one I'd be embarrassed about, and for a long time it was kind of a guilty pleasure, some might say. I love that song, "Big Black Horse and a Cherry Tree."
I've never
I
heard
don't know
that
what the hell
song.
that is.
Do you-
No idea what
John-
that is.
You guys have never
John, do
heard
you know
"Big Black
anything
Horse and a
about
Cherry
that
Tree"?
when he said that he liked. No, I've never heard that either.
Big black hole.
When you
What are you
said
thinking of,
earlier,
Roger?
when Paul said that he likes Chumbawamba, Tub Thumb, that's the first thing my mind went to was the lady. You want to go back
The
to my
Lady
band
of the
with
Lake.
Chumbawamba?
I once delivered the Excalibur to King Arthur.
That's
Hey, you
great.
want to come
wanna go
listen
make
to Thumping in Blaine's van? Such a good sketch. Such a good sketch. So bad. Oh, man. I once emerged from the lake to give the mighty King Arthur the Excalibur. That's cool. You walk on my van and listen to Top Thumping. And then he fucks her.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
That first season of Upright Citizens Brigade may be some of the funniest shit that still holds up for me, man. You're holding my ass pennies. What are ass pennies? Every time you get
I'll tell
pennies,
you.
shove them in my ass. It's how you get the upper hand. Any situation, hand a guy some pennies. 9 times out of 10, half those pennies were probably up my ass at one point in time.
Oh, man. The bucket of truth. The
When they're
Unabomber.
rob-
Like I'd really live in the woods where there are no discos.
when they're robbing people with shit on a stick.
It's the hot stripper room. Didn't I tell you about that when I was showing you the house? No, you didn't tell me that there was a hot stripper room and a bucket of truth.
A hot chick's room.
Oh God, that show! I want to watch that again now. I haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah, that's long overdue. God, I smoked so much weed and watched that show so over
You and
over
I-
and over.
Doug, do a speed test on your cell phone real quick. I want to see what you're
Okay.
getting.
Okay.
John, you do one too.
Can I
participate?
Go to your. Yes, you can.
I don't know how.
Go to Google, type in speed test, then hit go.
This will be the best speed test I get
I
because
just
I
pinged
just said
back.
fuck it and I'm not gonna mess around with it tonight and went right. Sorry, it looks like your internet speeds are slower than you
230
expected.
236.32.
84.2. That's what I got. Who do you
What
have
you got,
in it?
Johnny?
Watching John do it's the funniest. If they made like
Numbers go up.
if they made like a sequel to Sandlot, it looks like he's the grown-up version of a character. Mine's not even running the speed test, Bob.
Holy fuck.
But we're still making it happen.
Can you hear us?
Paul, you haven't answered our question.
Which is
I don't think
Braveheart
John
or the
did.
Patriot?
Patriot.
Get the fuck out of here!
Patriot all day, every
I
day.
told you. I
Oh
told
my
you.
Best
I
God.
Gibson
knew you
film.
would go with
Best Gibson film in my opinion. Patriot.
Oh, you're out of your fucking mind. That's
Oh
what I
my
said.
God. Ugh.
John, can you hear? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear. My internet
Okay.
speed said it said I had internet, so I'm good.
That's fantastic.
It said connected.
You ever watch Parks and Recreation? When
Love it, yes.
when the head, I can't remember the head actress who's on that show, but she's sick, and Chris Pratt, she's like talking to her boyfriend about all of her symptoms, and Chris Pratt, you
Amy
see him in the
Poehler.
background typing on the keyboard, and he's like, "Hey Leslie, I just typed all of your symptoms up here into this like search bar thingy, and it says that you could have internet connectivity issues."
Okay, so if you like the Patriot, both of you two like the Patriot more than Braveheart.
Who's that? Me and Bob?
All right, so we're gonna continue
Or I
this
mean,
little
me and
thing.
John. Me and
You
John.
and John,
Fucking A.
not fucking me. All right, Doug, you pit two
Fuck
movies
you,
against one
Green
another.
Bay. Fuck you.
Pit two movies against each other.
Yeah,
Um.
they
Dumb
obviously
and
need to be
Dumber.
similar themed.
Okay, give me a second then. Let me think for a minute. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back versus Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Oof, the first one, and I don't even like the first one.
Strike Back. I've got a good one.
Squad.
Oh, Reboot for me.
Really, there were two scenes in Reboot that saved that entire movie. Other than that, eh.
And that's why it took it for me.
Yeah,
I think they treated the Chasing Amy story in the Reboot with more reverence than they did in Strike Back, with giving up that little measly look at these two guys, looks like someone shit in their breakfast cereal. Boom.
Oh,
I hate
clearly,
that.
yeah. Yeah, the original movie I don't like. But, I mean, to me, when watching the reboot, all the jokes kind of fell flat, and it kind of...
It's because Kevin's gone woke in his old age. I got a good comparison for movies. And this is something weird I found out last night watching a YouTube video. RoboCop or Judge Dredd?
RoboCop.
RoboCop.
The original.
Judge
The
Dredd is
original
horrible.
Paul Verhoeven.
Judge
Yeah,
Dredd is
RoboCop.
who the fuck likes Judge Dredd?
Wait.
That movie is fucking horrible.
It depends, John. It depends. What version of Dredd are we talking about?
Sly.
The Stallone version, or are we
Stallone.
talking about
Oh.
the Carl Urban remake?
Stallone.
I haven't.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
I haven't seen the remake. Was it good? I didn't fucking bother.
Yeah, the Carl Urban version of Dredd is really fucking good. It's not like the greatest thing you'll ever see, but it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember
better
going
than
to see
Stallone.
RoboCop in the theater when I was 10 and just being like, what the fuck did I just watch?
it was a staple in our
Funny
household
you bring
growing
that up because I was watching the live action TV series. Yeah, this afternoon I have a third party streaming app on the Fire Stick, and I found the RoboCop live action series, the RoboCop animated series, the old Prime Directive. I started watching all the old RoboCop shit this morning. It's funny you brought that up.
The reason I brought those two movies
I'll
up
buy
is
that for $1.
the reason I brought those two movies up is because I just found out last night that the creator of RoboCop, when he initially wrote the script for RoboCop,
Frank Miller.
it was Frank Miller. It was supposed to be, he did it as his interpretation of the Judge Dredd story.
Well, here's a little funny thing. The Frank Miller kind of reinvented comics in the '80s with Dark Knight Returns, and the success of that gave him a lot more opportunities to do a lot of original stuff and then take on stuff. He did do Dredd for a period of time. He reinvented Daredevil I mean, Jesus Christ, season 3 of Daredevil on Netflix is directly lifted from Frank Miller's entire run on Daredevil and what he did with that character. And RoboCop, I think the original, the Paul Verhoeven film, is pretty fucking spectacular. Now, that said, his original script he had turned into a graphic novel a few years back through Avatar Press, and that's even more. It's even to me his original take on RoboCop was a lot more violent, a lot more fucked up, and a lot more gory. And I'd recommend seeking that out if you're into that stuff. But
Yeah, I just thought it was really interesting that
he's
it was his
also
adaptation of
Frank
Judge
Miller.
Dredd.
Frank Miller's also in RoboCop 2. He plays like the head scientist who creates Nukem. And a lot of RoboCop 2 was from his original drafts of the second film too. That's like one of the few films in the series that actually has kind of his stamp on it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Doug. Didn't we meet Frank Miller?
Did not know that.
No, we met Tom Savini. We met Kane Hodder, who played Jason, and we met Angus Scrimm, the tall man.
Yeah, I
met a lot more than that.
Yeah, I remember that, like, as soon as you got your driver's license and you were able to drive places, Mom and Dad made you take me whenever you were going to conventions and shit. So we met a lot of people in that genre.
I took you with me to the first and only horror well, not the only, but it's the first one I remember. Fangoria put on a weekend of horrors in Orlando, and that's where we met all of them. And I remember at the time, it was 99. I had just graduated high school. And I remember when we met Tom Savini, I was really excited because the dude was growing up as like my hero with all the horror movies and shit that he had done. And he was supposed to be on The Simpsons at that particular time in 99. He was guest voicing on The Simpsons, and I was curious as to what he was doing. And you and I went up in line to meet him, and he was doing autographs, and I had a Dawn of the Dead action figure of his character that was unlicensed, and he gave me he made me feel like a piece of shit for buying a bootleg toy, and he begrudgingly signed his name to it. And then I said, "Thank you, Mr. Savini." I said, "I'm such a fan. You're my like." I kissed his ass, and I said, "I heard you're going to be in The Simpsons." I said, "Can you tell me what you're going to be doing on The Simpsons?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be playing myself." He said, "I'm going to be playing myself at a convention, and some annoying fanboy comes up and asks me questions." And I got my heart hurt so fucking bad when I'm like, this motherfucker just took a dump on my heart. And months later, I'd watched that Simpsons episode, and that's exactly what he played himself. An exaggerated dickhead version of himself. I'm like, my God, I'm a fucking retard.
I got to tell you that meeting
bro.
Tom Savini has actually gotten me laid a time or two, so I need to thank you, Doug, for dragging me to those conventions. Whenever I had a date, watching.
Oh boy, the quality of those women must have been insane.
Hey.
Yeah, my uncle fingered me, but I'm over it now. It's nothing therapy can't help.
How many teeth did she have, Paul?
Well, all of them combined. Just the Tom Savini ones.
Just the prosthetics that Tom Savini made that we.
Yeah, I met Tom Savini once. Who wants to touch me?
No.
Well, look at it.
Let me set the mood, John. Let me set the mood so you can understand.
Please set the mood. I really want to hear
on
this.
a date, sitting on a couch, watching Dawn of the Dead, the original.
And I met him.
And Tom Savini shows up and like, oh, that biker guy's cool. Oh, really? I met him back in the day. Really? Yeah, my brother took me to the horror convention.
Photo of him. Yeah, we got a Polaroid runner somewhere.
I'm going to state the same thing that John stated. The quality there of this person is in question.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm the only person here who slept with women of low quality.
Like any of us are high quality?
Bob, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, man.
Bob, like the first time we ever met, wasn't there a giant story about how you were living with a heroin chick, paying all of her bills, and still dating other women? Are you gonna tell me?
She wasn't on heroin.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
It wasn't on heroin.
But she was.
Heroin.
I'm sorry. So she's top shelf standards. My bad.
No. She's like the PBR.
I'm with you, John. I like PBR.
Oh, he's taking a drink of one of my exes. Congrats.
This is the part where John has a stroke, starts grabbing his chest as the beer goes back.
Two bear claws got lodged right here.
He's choking on a pork chop.
Oh, Bob? Yeah, Bob has about 3 heart attacks a year.
Yeah, I've had one. I've had one heart attack.
S in the chat for Chris Farley.
Oh my god.
All right, man. Now your hair kind of looks like a helmet.
A Bears helmet.
My dick looks like a helmet.
Like Thumbelina's helmet? Or if Take had to go fight it with the Lost Boys. That kind of helmet.
Okay. The Lost Boys or Near Dark?
Lost Boys.
The fuck is Near Dark?
Lost Boys, but Near Dark is pretty fucking close behind it. That's a pretty good flick.
I like Near Dark.
Never seen it. Never even heard of it. So I'll say
Really?
Lost Boys.
Nick Donko's the reason why I know about it.
I saw Near Dark, I want to say in late 87. Catherine Bigelow directed it, and Bill Paxton's in it. Much
I'm
darker
sorry.
film.
I'm thinking of the wrong movie. I agree. Yeah, I'm gonna say Near Dark. I have Near Dark on Blu-ray. I was thinking of that Night Watch.
No. Night Watch was good, but no, not the same.
But yeah,
And the
Near Dark,
sequel
I
to Night
agree.
Watch was not good.
Near Dark also had what's his face? I can't think of his name. He's got a real weird name, but he was the one of the main characters in the original Heroes show. He played the senator in Heroes.
I could never get
Only
over
ones
that.
I can remember. Only ones I can remember off the top of my head were Lance Henderson, Bill Paxton, and
Yep. The chick from Running Man, that Spanish broad from Running Man's in it.
the woman from Aliens, and
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good
and that weird, creepy little kid.
I could give you a list of really dope vampire movies that not a lot of people have seen that are well worth your time. Vamp, well, you've seen Fright Night, the original Fright. I even like the remake of Fright Night.
Didn't watch it.
Once Bitten.
Have you guys ever seen that movie about the woman on the Lifetime channel?
Yes.
You see that one with that guy who was in that movie last year?
The guy with the eyebrows?
What are you talking about, John?
Ooh, Navy SEALs.
Ooh, Navy SEAL. Hey, I got a question. I know Bob's married. I know Doug's single. John, are you in a relationship or married or anything?
I'm in a relationship with myself.
How's that going?
A real great
Very
girl
happy.
named Lola.
We covered that in the
Very
last
happy.
episode with your fleshlight.
Just because somebody has a flashlight doesn't mean
I
they're
mean,
in or
what?
not in a relationship.
Okay, are the three of you in a relationship?
No,
Do you all three of you own fleshlights?
Doug doesn't.
Okay, so two of the three that aren't in relationships own a fleshlight.
Okay, but I don't
So there's
understand. I don't understand how knowing that John has a rubber fuck sleeve means that he's not in a relationship. I was
I'm just looking.
I was in a relationship and had a rubber fuck sleeve, so that discounts your point.
Background. I want to paint John's walls in the worst way. One wall
fuck?
gray, one wall tan. Where
I'm
do you
down.
live now? Where are you living now?
In a cave in Afghanistan.
I can tell you exactly where he's living. He's living where I dropped him off after I picked him up that morning.
South Fort
20 or
Myers.
5 years later.
Yep.
I live on the riverside of McGregor Boulevard, right by the Edison.
Nice, dude. You live in a nice area.
Yeah, there are $1 million mansions at the end of my street, but I do not live in one of those. I live
You're
in the
talking
second
about.
house ever built on this street.
I know the area you're talking about, but even though it might not be $1 million mansion, it's still a beautiful area you live in.
Oh, I
like-
love my neighborhood. My neighborhood's great.
I've always loved McGregor, the stuff off McGregor there.
This house needs a lot of love, a lot of attention, but I work fucking 80 hours a week, 6 days a week, so I don't have a lot of time to do shit.
What do you do for a living,
You
John?
sound like me.
So if you want to come down here and paint my room, you are fucking more than welcome to.
What does it pay?
What do I do for? What do I do?
Whoa,
for
hold
a
on.
living? I am
Do I
What?
get to choose the paint color?
now.
Because I will come over on my next day off and paint your room.
Dude, I'll fly down, and Bob and I, when you're at work, Bob and I, we will theme paint your house. Each room will be a different color of a different band theme. We'll have an Avenged Sevenfold room. We'll have a Mumford and Son room, an Iron and Wine room.
We gotta have a Chumbawamba room.
Well, a couple things I'll say about this. If they paint it green, John, I can actually use it as a green screen and change your background and make you wherever you want to be. Second thing is, so what the fuck do you do for a living?
Child. He's an electrician.
An appliance repair technician.
Okay.
I fix refrigerators, microwaves, washers, dryers.
For the
beverage coolers
suffering.
at restaurants, hot water heaters, AC work.
Did you have to go to a
No,
trade school
yeah,
for that, or is that all OJT?
No, I carried a dude's tools for a year and learned the trade
Nice.
as a helper.
Carry the dude's tool.
And then once the owner was comfortable that I knew enough, he gave me keys to a fucking van and said, "Here you go." I've been doing it for 5 years now.
To switch it up, I got questions, not so much talking points, but I had a question for either of you, John or Bob. Kathy and Vinny.
Well, I'll go fuck myself.
Well, no, because you won't know this. That's why. You won't know the answer to this question.
Try
dummy.
me.
All right. When I worked at Annie Ann's, my boss, her name was Kathy, her husband's name was Vinny. What were their kids' names? I can't remember their son or daughter's
Fuck
names.
if I know.
Fuck if I know.
I
She's
literally
dead,
just knew
right?
Kathy.
Kathy's dead
WAP
now,
1
right?
and WAP Jr.
Jesus,
Kathy
I,
died?
yeah, I believe
Is Kathy
Kathy's
dead?
passed
I heard.
away.
I heard she. Yeah. Yeah, I
I
heard
believe
she's
she
been dead
passed
for-
away.
You know, that
Somebody-
girl, that woman, that lady used to party with the real life people that Goodfellas was made after. Jimmy the Jet, Henry Hill. all
Fucking
them
Ray
used to
Liotta.
fucking drink
Full circle.
at the same fucking Ray Liotta. Here we go. That's 3 episodes now where Ray Liotta comes into play. Full circle.
Funny
We're
story.
just gonna have to have
funny
him on.
Funny story. Do you know how
Man
Hank
is
Hill
a
got his
national
start?
treasure.
Do you know how Hank Hill got his start in organized crime?
And propane
too.
sales.
No. Selling cigarettes. I heard he got off it though.
Jeez.
John and I and Bob and I worked at the mall. I'd spent Christmas at Kathy's house like 2 or 3 years in a row up until I got fired, and then I didn't want to go over there anymore.
Yeah,
But
she-
they're high.
Good.
No, I was just saying, like she did the traditional Italian Christmases. I remember eating like was it the 7 nights of fish or whatever, John? They do like nonstop fish dishes and shit. It was good, really good food. But yeah, we worked with her, and then there was the other lady that worked in the mall, that security guard chick who was related to Joe Gallo. Do you remember her, John? She'd come into the smoke shop, that real hot cop, Fort Myers cop. And she'd talk about, my uncle is Crazy Joe Gallo. She used to tell mob stories growing up around him.
I don't remember her.
Who, funny
I
enough,
remember
died
her,
in a
and then
fish
there was-
Okay.
restaurant.
Speaking of mall people, what the fuck ever happened to Daryl?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I started talking to Adam Barrett not long ago.
Whoa, you cut out really bad. What did you say? What was your question? Whatever happened to who?
Daryl.
Daryl. I miss Daryl. I don't know what happened to Daryl, man. I love Daryl though. He was good people.
Yeah, he was.
He lost his mind, you know, the divorce and that piece of trash he was nailing, and
Which
he
one?
was getting Boondock Saints tattoos and paid for breast implants and shit. Like
I remember
he had
that.
a really rough midlife crisis in front of our eyes, and
Yeah, he was going through all that when we were playing cards.
yeah, well, he also lived in the same apartment complex as me. He moved into Forestwood, and I remember one night I took some fucking acid, and I wandered over to his fucking apartment.
That couldn't have been a good
Tripped
trip.
tripping my fucking face off, and I was actually having a bad trip, and Daryl calmed me down.
Yeah, I think Daryl would have sent me
So-
completely the other way.
I haven't gone on Facebook and it's been over a year now.
4 years, 1 month. 4 years, 2 months now.
Oh, congratulations. You guys are all so cool.
It's not about that. It's every time I went on Facebook, it just pissed me off.
Every time you went on Facebook, you let other people get the best of you. Congratulations.
No, not at all. I'm not one to let people get the best of me.
No, actually, mine came from wisdom from CM Punk. He made a post saying, you know, if you don't like what people are saying, like if you're getting yelled at through your window, what do? You shut the window. I just got tired of people yelling at each other, so I just shut the window.
I left because it was all I was doing. I mean, it was around the time when I started getting a little bit healthier and quit drinking and that, but for the longest time, I would just get fucking obliterated drunk and spend hours just fuming over stupid shit. And then I realized at some point that most of the stuff I was seeing on Facebook wasn't even actual people. It was all like spam and sponsored bullshit and games. And it's like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm nearing 40. I don't need to be on this shit anymore. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It just, I don't know, man. Knowing that you are the product is kind of just a scary entity of itself.
Yeah, I don't like the idea that now all of a sudden people are brands. Like it used, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, you used to be able to dream about
Part of
stardom
the
or
system, man. You're one of the products, man. They're gonna control us, man. You're part of the problem, man.
Are you being Dennis Hopper right now?
Am I being what?
You sound like Dennis Hopper.
I was just
no. He sounds like himself from 20 years ago when he jocked a register at Hot Topic.
fucking apocalypse now. Dennis Hopper all hopped up on coke.
I was
Just
thinking
a man.
the River's Edge Dennis Hopper.
I was thinking Blue Velvet. Fucker, fucker, fucker.
Oh, I'm slutty. Oh, I'm slutty. May that man rest in peace.
Just a fun observation. Like, I want you guys to notice this when John's just like laying there with his arm on his side, not smoking. He's got a fan. Do you have a fan blowing on you, John?
Sure do, buddy.
It's moving. It's moving your sleeve, and it looks like you're jerking off.
How do we know he's
The
not?
last half hour. He's just trying to
Sorry, what?
slow his head out of the way.
What were you saying? Say it slower.
That's what's great is your natural
Hey,
facial
hey,
expressions make it look even
hey.
more.
Hey, slower.
Peanut butter.
Look me in
My
the
favorite
eyes.
thing to do
Look
with
me in the
peanut
eyes, John. I
butter-
like the.
Okay. What's that
82
place
people.
on
Holy
Evans?
shit, that's a lot.
What's that place that's on Fowler and Evans that makes wood? The wood shop place that I'm thinking of, where people get dropped off by their parent. You know what I'm talking about?
Votech.
No.
No, no, not Votech.
I went to
it's off-
Votech.
well, no, technically it'd be off Hanson. I guess it would be off Hanson and Evans technically, but I can't think of the name of it though. It's where all the special needs people made like wooden stakes and shit like that. We used to buy them at the school district from them. Can't think
And
of the
you
name of
used
the
them to
fucking-
kill vampires with the other Frog Brothers?
No, for irrigation and that, for marking shit out.
You did irrigation work?
No, I worked in a warehouse that had to receive the products for people who did irrigation work. I was a stock specialist.
I was like, I want to see video of this.
No. Yeah, no, there's none.
I will say this about Doug. No matter what he does for a living, that motherfucker's a bull and is a workhorse at what he does. Like, he impresses me with like his just like ability to like work hard, because when he's off work, it's just like, I don't want to move, don't touch me, I'm sitting on my couch, don't call me. Everything's turned off.
Why? It's why I get paid. It's the only reason I do it. You're paying me, I'll bust my
way.
ass for you.
So there's never a time where you just turn the throttle down and be like, nah, not today.
Tell
What do
you
you
what,
mean at work?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Not until the job's done.
Like when he
If I-
punches
Oh,
in
I-
for
if I
8
get-
hours, he works 8 hours.
Yeah, I don't take my breaks in that. I work until I'm done. I work until I'm done, and usually I work until I have like an hour's left, and then I just take my break at the end of the night and relax and wind down before it's time to leave. That's kind of how I deal with it. I don't like taking breaks, and I don't like sitting down to eat because it just makes me feel tired. Now I'd rather just get the work done and fucking.
Yeah, the same way.
See,
The same
I
way.
get that when
Absolutely.
I did that kind of work, I could get away with that. But the job I'm in now, I can't do that. It's
No,
just
yeah,
talk to
you
people
can't.
all day and sell them shit all day long.
And see, I that's something I couldn't do. That's something I always impressed me about you, John, Shane, damn near everybody, Skylar, anybody who worked in the service-based industry that had to deal with people. Like I don't like dealing with people, and there is no amount of money you can pay me to want to deal with people as a career.
And what's,
Look, John-
what's crazy about that is you were between the two of us growing up, you were the way bigger socialite.
Yeah, and then I found opiates, and that kind of like, rewrote my personality to where I don't have tolerance for shit anymore. I don't like small talk. It's like that old joke, like I don't need any more friends. I'm all friended up. Sorry.
Well, it's like I remember back in the day when John was a server, and I remember thinking I couldn't do that fucking job.
He was good at it. John was really
He was,
fucking
but there's
good.
no way I could do that job. I don't have the temperament for it.
I remember watching
Yeah, I
him
think
and Shane come home
out
at
of
night
all-
with wads of cash.
Yeah, out of all the things that I've done, serving and bartending, that was definitely my calling in life, and I was really good at it. But unfortunately, just the toll it took on my body, to where
yeah.
I started using opiates to be able to fucking stand up because my back was so fucked up, and still is. But yeah, couldn't do it. Kill my body physically, but yeah, I was a really good server bartender. I mean, shit, the last year I served and bartended, I must have fucking cleared like 70 grand that year. Easy.
I remember when you
Oh.
went to work at McGregor Food and Spirits, and then what was the
Oh, yeah.
bar afterwards across the street?
The
from that?
dog.
The dog. I remember when you took that place over.
Dog.
I remember when you
Yeah.
took that place. It's funny how like the transitions where you ran the smoke shop, and that was our hangout for the longest time. For everybody, that was where we all hung out. Well, we all worked together in the same building. But
Yeah, I
then
hired
you
you all.
more
Not
or
me.
less, yeah. And then you fired me for a day for getting drunk on the job, even though you're the one that told me to go have a drink. And then you hired me back the next day. We stole, and then oh god, man, the amount of cigarettes I stole from that store.
I don't even remember that. The only thing I remember about working with you is I remember the day you guys hid the chair from me, and you told me that the owner called up and said we couldn't have the chair anymore. And I walked in and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, get Gary on the phone. I want to get the fucking owner on the phone right now. I was so fucking pissed off.
I
And then you and
forgot
Skylar
all
started
about that.
I remember that.
And then you and Skylar started giggling like little fucking schoolgirls. And I was like, go give me my fucking chair right now.
This is what I remember about that place, and you in particular as the boss of that place, is you had this special chair, and you had full control of the boombox unless you weren't working. And I remember coming in, and you'd be like, "Get out of my fucking chair, get away from the fucking boombox," and you'd put in whatever your mood was based on whatever your mood. I remember when Alkaline Trio Crimson came out, you got a bootleg copy of it that you burned, and you were just sitting by the boombox listening to it. And people were coming in and asking, "Doug, help them out. I'm listening to this." The corner was your domain, man.
I would come in on my break.
I also remember hearing this album by this little band called The Killers and deciding that everybody needed a fucking copy of that CD. So I burnt like 25 copies of that CD, gave one to like Bob and everybody else in the mall. I was like, you need to fucking listen to this new band. It's amazing.
And then 3 months later, it was the biggest thing in the fucking world.
I remember being at John's apartment, and he had a top hat, and he was playing Hot Fuzz for me. And I picked up, there was a top hat, like a plastic New Year's Eve top hat that was sitting on the couch. And I remember picking it up, and I started fucking whatever fucking song that was. I haven't heard that in so long. I'm trying to think of the names of the songs off that album now.
Janie was a
The
friend
I
of mine.
got soul, but I'm not a soul.
That's a good song.
I remember John used to get so pissed off at me because I would come in on my break and take
And
Zippo
liquid
lighter
Coheed.
fluid and light all the counters on fire.
Yeah, I remember you
would
did
light
that
the
shit too.
counter. You used to do the craziest shit. You would light the counter on fire. You'd take my stapler and start stapling yourself. We used to play the fucking lick and fucking smack game. You were just a fucking Neanderthal back in the day.
You
I was like,
remember?
Bob's fucking nuts.
Do you remember when Bob would get bit by by spiders and shit, and he'd get boiled? Remember when he'd come into the smoke shop and he'd have boils, and he'd be sitting there with like our pliers pulling out pus and shit?
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Good times, man.
Neanderthal. Just
I
Yeah,
remember stealing packs of Newports from that. Just like I don't have any money, we'll just take a pack of cigarettes. Like just grabbing whatever we wanted from that place.
Do you guys know when I was 16, Bob used to come in the specs and he used to wear a fucking trench coat? And he was the scariest looking person you have ever seen in your life. And every time this motherfucker would come into the store, I would like walk the other direction because I wanted nothing to do with him. And then one day he fucking I got stuck ringing him up and he was buying Clerks the animated series. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, it's the Clerks cartoon show. You know who Kevin Smith is? And I go, yeah, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, but I have no idea what the fuck is this. What is this? And he explained it to me, and we started talking. And then that day, we had one other copy of it in. I bought it, and me and Bob became friends after that.
Yeah.
But for months, Bob used to come into my store, and I was like, that guy is fucking scary looking as fuck. And I used to just like stay out of his way.
You're not the only one who thought that. I remember when Bob didn't have any facial hair and had hair on his head. Like, yeah, he was
Yeah, those were
school shooter
old
waiting to happen.
He had a beard. Oh no, he had a beard. He had a beard. He had fucking long hair and fucking big black trench coat.
I'm talking about pre-beard though. Like there was a photo I just saw of Bob recently. It might have been on his Instagram. I don't really recall where I saw it, but there was a photo of him from high school when his hair just kind of split down the middle and came down.
Oh, when it was all braided?
Yeah, yep, and had no facial hair whatsoever.
Yeah, I was 14 there. I've had a beard since I was 15 years old. This would have been
in that photo.
I guess that would have been right around the time that you guys met me.
Yep, that was it. And I remember you lived right by Specs.
Yeah. I remember sleeping outside one night to get tickets to a Pearl Jam concert and sometime in the 90s. And I was second in line, and then there was about 300 of us when the poor manager opened the next morning. And he's like, unfortunately, we have to do a raffle. I lost my fucking shit. That poor guy. And so even though I was second in line, I was at the end of the line because of the raffle, and a buddy of mine happened to get the first raffle ticket. I'm like, here's $600, buy all my tickets. I felt so bad for that guy.
Thank God for the internet now. We don't have to do shit like that anymore.
Yeah, that's the only time I've ever slept outside for show.
Paul and
I've only camped out for tickets twice. Earth Day Fest 2000, that 90.
I forgot about Earth Day.
X threw on. Oh my God! You want to talk about the lineup of late 90s fucking bands? Okay,
I remember.
Our Lady Peace, Seven Dust, The
Crazy
Flies,
Town,
Three Doors Down, Fuel. No, Flyleaf wasn't on there.
I thought they were on that one.
That band came way later. That band came like 10 years later. So The Flies, Our Lady Peace, Seven Dust, Three Doors Down, Chevelle, Fuel.
Chevelle, that's right. Point One had just come out.
The guitarist of Our Lady Peace gave me a beer. I was like fucking 14 years old. It was great.
I'm thinking why
Dude, I will put.
Dead.
Oh, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
7:59 will do that to you.
Yep.
School comes back into session tomorrow.
It does.
Not looking forward
How
to
long?
it.
How long have you been off for, Doug?
Well, it's not like it was in Florida. Like, I don't get like 2 weeks paid off. I only got Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then I got New Year's Day, but I took a few days of my own personal time off. So, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days altogether, sporadically over the last 2 weeks.
I have
Well,
one last
season
question for each
starts.
of you, and then you can
Okay.
all go. It's another movie question. So, Gremlins or Neverending Story?
Never-ending story.
Gremlins 1 or Gremlins 2?
Gremlins 1.
Never ending story.
Neverending Story.
Wait, were you gonna say Gremlins 2?
It had Hulk Hogan in it.
Idiot.
The new back.
It had that really hot female gremlin.
Yeah, she was a stripper.
It was the first time I ever jerked off.
When Gremlins 2 came out and I saw Hulk Hogan on the big screen, it was one of the greatest days of my life.
Then I saw No Holds Barred and thought, wow, what a wasted excitement on Gremlins 2. Fuck you, No Holds Barred's a great movie.
No, I'm saying I would have fisted myself if I saw No Holds Barred in the theater.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just
I love No Holds
Wasn't
Barred.
that isn't that where he fought Tiny Lister Jr.?
Yep, Tiny Zeus Lister.
I'll tell you what, a great wrestling movie from that period, the same time as No Holds Barred.
Vision Quest.
Body Slam with Rowdy Piper and Captain Lou Albano. Fantastic movie, never gets talked about.
Never heard of it in my fucking life.
I always thought Vision Quest was more of a movie, like a love story than anything else.
I mean, it was about a wrestler.
You remember that movie Gotcha, Anthony Edwards and Linda Fiorentino? That's another good
The
movie.
PayPal movie? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Or If Looks Could Kill with Richard Grieco, where it was a high school student, James Bond.
No, that movie sucks.
Fuck. No, it doesn't. That movie's awesome. So is the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
I'll take the Garbage Pail Kids movie over a Richard Grieco movie.
Flight of the Navigator or Explorers?
Flight of the Navigator.
Explorers. It's close. That's a close one, but I'm going to go Explorers.
Night of the Demons or the Monster Squad? Both great Fred Dekker
Monster
movies.
Squad.
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad.
When's the last time any of you saw Night of the Demons? It's a pretty dope film.
So
it's been at least 10 years.
No, it's Night of the Creeps, not Night of the Demons. But yeah, it's a good one. Monster Squad's good too.
Ew. Yeah, Night of the Creeps is one of my favorite horror movies of all time, actually.
That's an awesome movie from the same guy.
Yeah. I'll say Night
Squad.
of the Creeps then. I'll take Night of the Creeps over Monster Squad. I love Night of the Creeps.
Okay.
It's a
Halloween
good movie.
Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, or Texas Chainsaw.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
All the number ones.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
All the number ones. Wait a minute. We'll go Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween. What was the fourth one?
Texas Chainsaw.
Are you talking about franchises as a whole or just original film?
Just the first
original
film
films.
Of those,
if it was franchise, I would take Texas Chainsaw, but since I'm gonna go Nightmare.
Look,
on Elm
as a kid, I loved all this. I was having this discussion with my mom the other day. As a kid, all of this shit I loved as a kid. As an adult, I can't. I'm not a horror fan anymore.
Really?
And of this, yeah. I mean, I do, but I don't go out of my way to see new shit. It's not my first inclination. I'd rather laugh or watch a good story than just watch horror anymore. But of those four films you listed, I gotta be honest. Like as a kid, I loved them. As an adult, I don't like any of the original first films from any of those options. But I'll take Nightmare on Elm Street if I have to choose one.
I'll take the original Nightmare.
I'll take the original Nightmare too, but a close second is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That film is just.
I'm completely in agreement with John. Franchises as a whole, I would choose Texas Chainsaw.
If we're talking
franchise as a whole, I'll take Friday the 13th easily. My favorite.
Yeah, I agree with John on that one.
Okay, best reboot of all of those.
The original sucks.
I'm
There is
Best
no
love,
best
reboot of all of them.
I'm in love with
Yeah,
there
Jessica
is
Biel, so I'll
Texas
take Texas
Chainsaw
Chainsaw
Massacre.
Massacre. I was gonna say I'm in love with
That's
Jessica Biel.
honestly, none of them are good reboots, but of the ones that are listed, that one is actually a tolerable reboot with R. Lee
will
Ermey,
say-
especially.
I will say what I liked about the Friday the 13th reboot is they kind of explained how he got from place to place. I like that
Yeah,
aspect of
the
it.
tunnel stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the Friday the 13th reboot. I did not enjoy the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh God, that was
reboot
by
at all.
far the worst.
The Halloween reboot with Rob
one?
Zombie. I love both of those. The last
The
one
first
was
15 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. I
What's
like
that?
the first 15 minutes, but
The first 15 minutes of I didn't like Rob Zombie's Halloween. The Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I love the first 15 minutes when it's in the asylum and they're playing Knights in White Satin, and you've got Unser from Sons of Anarchy as one of the ambulance drivers. I love the opening to that movie, and then it falls flat for me. And the remakes that Danny McBride did about as much for me as the original remakes for that fucking film series.
to me,
I just
the
don't like that.
remake showing him without his mask and showing that he's just a normal guy takes everything out of the whole thing.
I
You know?
haven't seen the new Halloween, but it was
I
filmed
like
in
the backstory.
it was filmed in Charleston when I was living there, and my coworker, her daughter got cast in the movie. So if you watch the new I haven't watched it, but if you watch the new Halloween and there's a trick or treater who answers the door as a cute little black girl and she's a cupcake princess, I helped build that costume at work one night on a 12-hour shift.
Story's
That's
gonna get
awesome.
you laid one day.
I'm sure
That
it will.
story
about
is
to
going to
say-
be the pearl
I was
of this
just about to
podcast.
say, can I touch your cock now?
John, you don't even have to
No,
ever
God,
ask.
no. This literally needs to be. I met Tom Savini and it got me laid.
We actually going to put this podcast out.
Simpsons, and he said some guy who answers annoying fan questions. Oh shit! I wish we should. I'd be better off choosing of those films. Like it'd be better to have like what's your favorite of the series. If we're going Texas Chainsaw, I love the second film. Texas Chainsaw with Dennis Hopper. That's a damn near perfect movie for me.
What about
I'm
the,
a big fan
the
of
new
Nightmare on Elm
generation?
Street 3 Dream Warriors.
I thought it was 4. I was just
Like-
gonna
I
say,
love
but
that
me and you were in
one.
agreement, Bob. I thought it was 4.
Dream
though.
Warriors.
The
Yeah,
ones where they
3.
all had superpowers, right?
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah, that was my favorite
Four is the
Nightmare on Elm
Dream-
Street.
That's great.
5 is the Dream Child. 6 is Freddy's Dead.
Yeah, the Dream
don't know.
Warriors
Yeah,
was my favorite.
Actually,
hands down.
I like Freddy's Dead. I am one of the few in the minority who love that movie.
I saw it opening day in 3D
I didn't mind
because Freddy died on my birthday. He died on September 13th, same day as Tupac. Everyone dies on my fucking birthday.
I have the original one sheet for that movie where it's got his birthday and his death day with the hat and the glove on the tombstone.
Yep.
I love the sound. I love the soundtrack. It was a Metal Blades record soundtrack that was almost 90% Goo Goo Dolls when they were signed to Metal Blade Records.
I keep trying to come across some Pantera when they were glam because I have this friend who's a huge Pantera fan that never heard them when they were glam. He's like, he was never called Diamond Daryl. I'm like, yes, he fucking was.
Yes,
Before he was Dimebag Daryl, he was fucking Diamond Daryl.
It was like great wrestler gimmicks, man.
I'm like, it was a totally different time. You found out about Green Jello?
How I found out about Green Jello?
Yeah.
that video that
I knew about
played all
Green
the
Jello
time.
before I moved to Florida.
Yeah, me too. I was like
Who
8
was-
years old when that song was big.
I have to buy a refrigerator tomorrow.
At Whirlpool.
Yeah,
What a weird order history you must have.
it's really odd.
6 headsets, RAM, and a refrigerator, please.
Well, my mom's moving, and I don't want her to leave her brand new fridge, so we're leaving the shitty fridge for the new people.
Great.
You know what,
Great
Doug?
person.
You've gotten hotter as you've gotten older too.
I don't think that's true.
I think it is. I mean, your
I think-
your ball sack may be a
think
little
this is-
more wrinkled and a little grayer, but
I think this is the best you've ever looked up, so kudos, man.
Thank you. I have a photo of
Oh.
the worst I ever looked, and it was It's a photo you took of me. When you moved in with me and Shane moved back in. John, Shane, and I would get really fucking high in the afternoons, play Skippo, watch Workaholics, and go to Sonny's and just eat all you can eat for like, it was like $13, all you can eat everything, and we would.
Are they closed on Sonny's?
Yeah, they closed it for health violations, dude.
I'll tell you what. I've heard the Skippo Sonny's story a lot, and I'm not saying like this story isn't like Doug says the same story over and over, but every time Doug tells me the story of Skippo and Sonny's, I crave Sonny's barbecue so fucking bad, and it just makes me sad that I don't live close to a Sonny's.
It's the best.
There's one 10 minutes away from me. I still go there.
Yeah, there's one in South Fort Myers still. That should be the only one left.
It's on Winkler. Yep, it's on Winkler and College.
Well, what about the one on Pine Island?
What?
Oh, it's gone.
Winkler College. No, it's on Winkler and College is the only one that's left.
When I was
in Port Charlotte. So.
When I was living in South Carolina, we traveled a lot. Like I would go to California, Japan, and Jacksonville was one of our hubs to go work for. And nobody wanted to go to Jacksonville, so every time a Jacksonville job would come open for travel, I'd always take it just so I could eat Sonny's every single day on the government's dime.
I found out the hard way. I was on the other side of the state somewhere with a friend of mine, and we stopped at a Sonny's. Not all Sonny's are created equal. They have completely different recipes at different Sonny's. It was very fucking depressing.
To me, the best version of Sonny's, it was 96 to 2000 when I worked there. That was my first real job as a kid.
There, yeah.
This is clearly fat guy talk right here. The best.
This is absolutely. You can keep this in, Paul. This is absolute fat guy talk. We used to make a Brunswick stew that when I left there, the guy who owned the franchise, Mickey, sold it off, and I believe Sonny Tillman, who named after Sonny's, sold it to a higher corporation, and that they changed the menu. It became more streamlined. When John and I started going there with Shane, it was more commercialized than that. But when I worked there, it literally was like a mom and pop place where everything was made in-house. When I left, it was all being ordered and prepackaged and heat up and shit like that, from what I can tell. But yeah, the early menus, like the homemade Brunswick stew that we used to make, was fucking. I've yet to find any that was that good, man. But yeah, that was going back to the photo. I have a photo of me that John took, and it was my heaviest. I think it was like 365 pounds, and it was at a booth in Sonny's, where like I'm wearing a 5X shirt. I'm like, my face is just ballooned the fuck up. But that was as unhealthy as I was. That was like the best times of my life. I think were like 28 to like 35. Granted, I was getting fucked up, but like some of the memories I have of hanging out with you guys.
Fat, dumb, and happy, brother. Just fat, dumb, and happy.
My least favorite picture of you, Doug, is the picture Mom took when we came down to move you, and it was you at your skinniest and me at my heaviest, and it made me feel so depressed.
It made me feel pretty good now that I know that. Yeah, I remember towards the end there, people at work asking me like, "Dude, you're looking good. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, you're losing so much weight." And when you're a fat guy your whole life, you don't know. When people start telling you you're looking good, I never see it because I've lived with this my whole life. So that's all I see. And I remember people like, "What's your secret? What are you doing?" And I didn't have to tell them, like, just opiates, man. Like, I don't have an appetite. I'm sweating.
Dude, when I lost all that weight.
In the morning I smoke crack, and then in the afternoon I shoot heroin, and then at night I drink beer, and then I go to sleep.
See, I had the other problem when I lost all the weight. People immediately were like, "So what drugs did you do?" I'm like, running, lifting weights, the old standbys.
I didn't even try. I ate absolute garbage nonstop. I just didn't eat as much of it. Like my diet. It's funny. My doctor, towards the end, right before I left, my doctor had me keep a journal because I was only shitting once every week and a half, 2 weeks. And
Jesus
when I shit,
Christ,
I'm not joking, dude. I still have. He had me.
Ouch.
My doctor had me keep a journal to log down every day that I laid out a log. And that's what, going back on the journal, that's what it was. It was a week and a half to 2 weeks because I wasn't eating food. I was putting Suboxone into my system, smoking packs of cigarettes left and right, drinking nothing but Diet Coke, and that was my life. And when I would take I'm not kidding, man. It was like that, and I'd have to get a wand to break it up. It was so dense and heavy,
like Thor's hammer.
I'm not fucking kidding. I had to literally stand up from the toilet just to get it to break off. That's how fucking big and long they would be. Now I have a nice normal dietary shit every day.
You got to leave that in, just that part right there. I had to stand up.
For Lee County School District, and we had a warehouse on. Oh, I'm trying to think of I can't believe I've forgotten so many of the names of the streets there.
Street.
I can't think of the name of it now. Over by where Ralph's Record Trader is, over in that area is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, over near Hanson.
Yeah. So we had a warehouse that we would store like all electronics and shit, and every summer, like year round, but every summer especially, we'd be cleaning it out and reorganizing all the stuff that people were bringing in to be stored. And one of these particular summers when I was dropping those giant bombs, like it got to the point where I had to take a shit, but the warehouse was nobody worked in it. It was just an empty warehouse. And the bathroom hadn't been clean in years. So there's just layers of dust and grime. And I'm like, I'm not sitting on this toilet to take a shit. So I went into the warehouse and I found an empty box. And I dropped trow in the middle of a hot summer's day and left a log in a cardboard box in the back of that warehouse. I don't know why I told you that story, but it just popped.
Wow.
All right, hey, really quick, because he deserves justice of us talking. Her name was Carrie Ann.
Thank you. Wait, is she dead?
Carrie. Her name is Carrie Ann. I don't know.
Okay. Carrie Ann what? Well, good to know that she's still around and, well, metaphorically kicking, I guess.
Son of a bitch. I see what you did there. That's funny. Oh yeah, that was gonna drive me crazy. I had to reach out to my old bandmate Batman, aka Richard Robinson, to help me out on that one.
You're friends with her on Facebook?
I'm not. He is.
Yeah, I can't find her.
Carol Ann.
What a great podcast where three guys who knew a girl back in the day were web stalking her now, trying to find her.